Hi, class. Here we are, week one. It's opened yesterday, actually, but we're not on Blackboard yet. Will we let that deter us? Absolutely not. We are ready, set to go. And with that being said, I am forwarding to you right now this PowerPoint, which tells you exactly what needs to happen while we're here in week one as we await Blackboard to open. What does this mean? This means then that I need you right now to get out your laptops, to get out your tablets, to get out to get in front of your PC and actually get started with the assignments. So the way the class runs is the class will be opened on Blackboard from Monday at midnight, and the week will run from that Monday at midnight through the next Monday at midnight. So we have a total of 7 full days in a work week to complete the assignments for the week. What will each week look like? You will have readings, you will have PowerPoints, you will have videos, you'll have documentaries. But more poignantly, you will have each week a quiz, and this quiz covers the chapter that is covered for that particular week. For this quiz, you must have your textbook because the quiz is directly based on the chapters in your textbook. So if you haven't had the textbook as of yet, I encourage you with haste to go get the textbook because, like I said, each week there's a quiz, and the quiz is strictly textbook based. In addition to a weekly quiz, you will have a discussion. This discussion will have two discussion questions per week, and for each of the discussion questions, you will need to respond to the original question. In addition, you will respond to one of your peers for a total of 3 discussion posts per week. But each of these posts must be on a different day. This gives you time to gather your thoughts, to reflect, to get to answering the question, and to give you a breather so you can start the next question on the next day. And then, of course, responding to your peers. Now, guys, there's a grading rubric that's attached to these discussions. So these are not ad hoc discussions. There is a grading rubric, and before this video ends, you will be introduced to the grading rubric. Should you follow the grading rubric as is, then you're almost guaranteed a perfect score if you follow the grading rubric as is. Because after all, it's a short course, right? Who doesn't want to walk away with an A? That is our goal, guys, isn't it? To walk away with an A at the end of this semester. All right. So, and of course, if you reach for the stars and you don't reach the stars, then you'll fall amongst the moons, right? And so you want to reach for the stars. And this grading rubric gives you the opportunity to reach for the stars in that it clearly tells you what is required to get the highest points in the discussion. Now, let's take a look at the discussions for this week. The first discussion this week is unusual in that of the 5 weeks, this is the only week that we have 3 discussion questions. Let me point out, question one here is not graded. Question one again is not graded. What is question one? It's asking you just to tell us a little bit about who you are, and you can do it via video as I have done, um, or you can do it in writing. So it's your call, it's your choice. And again, this question is not graded. Let's move on to question number two. Question number two asks, Now, um, by the way, that was in 2018. Then we've had a couple of things happening, like the pandemic. Um, my the daughter that I told you was in England. Now she is a teacher. My son is a computer technician, and my oldest is New York State attorney. So much for that. So the next question we have is question two. Question two assumes, and you'll notice a picture right here. That was me when I was in Japan, um, going on a little field trip. But anyway, question two assumes that you're vacationing in Asia when COVID hit, and now you're quarantined. While there, you meet someone from Tokyo who asks you, "What do you do?" And you quickly respond that you're a student at QCC, and the person becomes very excited and then asks, "What is your field of study?" You cheerfully said sociology because, of course, you're so excited to be studying sociology. And then they ask, "What is sociology? Is sociology considered a scientific discipline, and why? Why is it important to study sociology? And how has the study of sociology impacted society?" Now, guys, I need you to go to your textbook, look at these questions, and answer them based on what you have found in your textbook. Please do not respond verbatim from your textbook because it tells me that if you're responding verbatim from your textbook, you did not understand what you read. So I want you to read the textbook, then interpret and write these responses in your own words. You will, of course, put citations indicating that I found this on page 28 of the textbook. I found this on page 30 of the textbook. That you need to put there so the reader will know that these weren't your original thoughts. You actually did some work, you did some reading, you did some research, and this is what you found. Again, you're using your textbook to answer this question. You're answering the original question. And yes, again, I know that Blackboard is not open as of yet, but what I want you to do is to prepare your response, write out your response right now, so that once Blackboard opens, it's just a matter of uploading the material that you have already written. So there's no excuse to say, well, Blackboard isn't open, so I couldn't do the assignment. I'm literally sending you the assignment right now. All right. And question three of the discussion board looks at chapter three of your textbook, and it asks you, what is experimental research? Describe the pros and the cons to this type of research. It asks you for two researchers and to talk about their research, and that is Robert Park and William Ogburn. And I want you to use your textbook as reference and talk about what kind of research these guys did and what was the impact of sociology. Again, remember that you must respond to the original question, right? Um, and then the grading rubric. Now, guys, this is the heart of the matter, right? You can, if you didn't respond to any of the questions, get a zero. But I know that's not going to happen, right? Absolutely not. Or you can respond in up to seven sentences and you will get 7.5 points of a possible 20 points. If you respond in 8 to 15 sentences, then you will get 15 points. If you respond to between 16 to 20 sentences, then you get 20 points. So this is where you get the max points. Guys, please look at the proficient column. Don't focus on the novice or the competent and said, well, I did 7 sentences. Why didn't I get proficiency? In order to get proficiency, you must do either 16 to 20 sentences. Then, so you're looking at discussion number one for 20 points, discussion number two for 20 points, and your response to any peer. So you could respond to a peer in discussion number one, or you could respond to a peer in discussion number two. It doesn't matter which discussion you respond to for the peer, as long as you respond to a peer. And finally, as this is a college level class, then you know spelling and grammar is important. So there are you want to take a close look at the grades for spelling and grammar. What I suggest in order to deal with the spelling and grammar issue, do your work in a Word document where Word automatically checks the spelling and grammar. And once you have done your work in a Word document, then you can actually upload it to Blackboard. All right, that way you eliminate the issues of spelling and grammar. With that being said, guys, get started. Let us just take care of week one and be on the move. Thank you, and I look forward to the opening of Blackboard where I can meet with each of you individually. Thank you, and have a wonderful week. Bye bye.